Dear Jenny, I'm writing to you today in hopes that you'd like to spend one last day together, with the option, of course, of coming with me if you enjoy our day. I'm hoping that the extra time spent together will help you see that you're not meant to be with anybody else. Meet me at the Thunderbird at dawn. I'll be waiting. With love, Cilla. This goes out to you. Hear the tremble in my voice, it's cause I knew that there would come a time where I would have to choose. Do I love this? Do I love you? You don't even know your favorite color blue. I'm not like your room, not that purple thing you chose to do. Girl, that's not you. Girl, that's not you. But I wish I coulda knew. I coulda knew. Come and tell me all about how I'll provide the booze while you provide the tunes. I'll provide the paper while you provide the room. We can do it all nighter like we used to do. I could tell you a fighter, girl. I pray for you. The best way to your heart is through your smile, and I know it's been a while. I know it's probably foul. Know you probably wanna kill me, but instead you down. You call me up to fill your cup and fill you up and down. So you've been in my dreams, you've been in my dreams. You know why? You've been in my dreams, you've been in my dreams. Don't be shy, girl. Always choose the life you know that we would never give in. Always choose the one you know who needs the most forgiving. And maybe with some time and baby, just a little fixing, we can make the picture right. Yeah, we can say we fixed it. This goes out to you. Hear the trouble in my voice, it's cause I knew that there would come a time where I would have to choose. Do I love this? Do I love you? Working so hard to get this far, this far. God saying you know you gotta choose. Do I love this? Do I love you?
And we are back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Sorry, I got to keep plugging my mic every time I have to play music. So, without further ado, we're going to have the one, the only, Cilla! Hello there.
Hi, guys.
Cilla, what's good?
What's up? What's up? How's it going today? Or
all
tonight,
good.
actually. Our
All
day's
good.
almost over.
I love
I know,
your
right?
style.
Yes.
That's a fact.
I can't hear Ivy.
Oh, hold on.
Oh no, technical difficulty.
Can you hear
I
me
can
now?
hear you, but I can't hear the lovely Ivy.
I can hear you, Ivy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, which is so interesting.
Oh, Lord. Hold on a second. Mikey, have a chat while I figure this out.
Cool. So, I was listening to the song, and I was also looking at your bio. And through the bio, I saw that the EP is sort of like a bunch of love letters to old relationships and things of that nature. So, which song on the EP was the hardest to get through for you in the recording process and the writing process, all that? Which one was the hardest to like write? And then when you wrote it, it was like, okay, I'm glad I wrote it. And then when you record, you're like, oh, I gotta go through this again. Like, which song hit you like that?
Honestly, I think the song that was the hardest to write was Petty Penny, only because it was a lot of, all the other songs, if as you listen to them, you can see that they're kind of like love songs and, really positive and just like, we're gonna get through this, or I love you and I'm here. So Petty Penny kind of just took that little turn of me having to get some emotions out that were not per se emotions that I feel like I would have gotten over if I hadn't put it into song. But then everything I was saying on the track, as far as like getting my side of this story out that I was trying to tell, I know was, a little harsh. But through the situations of like, what brought this song to kind of come about, I just felt like it needed to be said. And yeah, so I think that was probably the hardest track for me.
Interesting. Can we hear you now?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Yay!
You got it to work.
Ooh, I mean, I popped out and I popped back in. It was just like magic.
Hey.
Sometimes that's how it is. That's what she said.
Got
Oh
him.
Lord, I'm done. Damn, I'm done. Alrighty there, but so was that you also singing on With Love?
Yes.
Wow.
So I did like a little switch up, little transition. I mean, I feel like the like music has changed so much in the genres and what's trending, and so just to kind of give it some perspective of like, hey, like she doesn't just stick to one genre or one type of like expression. I feel like having that little like rap style and then a little bit of like that singing is kind of what the switch up and transitions are what people kind of enjoy about it. So
Right.
I'm glad that you asked if it was someone else.
Yeah, because I feel like it was you, but then I'm like at the same time, it's like when she raps, it you have like a I don't want to say you're like more alto in your tone, but when you're singing, you have such a higher pitch, and it's just like, how are you able to control that?
So I went to school. I went to high school for performing arts, and I
Oh,
think
which one?
that's yeah. I went to Frank Sinatra School of the Arts in Astoria, and I
Oh,
Oh,
that's on
think
the
nice.
block.
yeah. Oh, you're in Astoria?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes, that is my high school. We unfortunately didn't get that gorgeous building that's there now, but we were in like a two floor two floor building that was like so small, and but it was such a great experience. But being there really helped me like with technique and breathing, and I was actually a soprano one in high
Oh,
school,
wow.
like the
Oh my.
highest of the high,
Yeah, the
and
highest. Yeah.
so for me it's all about just like I guess you're always you're placed into where your voice type is in high school. So I guess because I was able to get into that range, I've always been able to just exercise my voice in that way that kept me being able to exercise it and get to those like notes. But there is some times where like I'm not obviously in high school anymore, so it is a little tough sometimes to get up there with certain things. But then I just kind of remind myself like, all right, take a moment. If it's not happening, just give it some time and then go back at it again.
How often do you like practice or do vocal coaching on yourself?
Before, definitely, if I knew I was going to the studio that week, the full week, I would just be drinking tea and honey and like doing my warm ups in the morning. But now that I've been in quarantine, unfortunately, I haven't warmed up as much as I used to. But I feel like now I'm starting to warm up a little bit more because I've had the opportunity, thankfully, to be able to do like some live performances and talent shows and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get back into that routine of making sure that I'm taking care of my voice as best as I can.
That's dope. That's dope.
Thank you.
So my co-host over there in the box next to me, or do I point this way, right?
Yeah, you're
So
pointing the right way.
he's an R&B singer too.
Ooh,
You guys can
let
collaborate.
me find out, Prince Charming. I mean, it makes sense. The name, Charming. Is that how you get the
Hmm.
ladies?
I don't get any ladies. I'm very much
He's such a
a
liar.
dweeb.
He's such a
I'm
liar.
a dweeb.
He's such a liar.
I'm
He's
afraid to
a liar.
talk to women. I don't do it.
He's a damn liar.
I don't do it. I
your
don't do it.
voice, your voice is so soothing. So I can only imagine that with singing.
Yo, it's so crazy that everybody's been telling me that. Like, I hate my voice. I hate it.
I think we got a
They say
singing school in
everybody
here.
tells me
A heartbreak
my voice is very soothing. Thank you so much.
for sure.
Well,
It's a fair.
he thinks his son to sleep whenever he has him. So yeah.
That's so
Yeah, I do
sweet.
that. I do
My
that.
my dad used to when he would drop us off because him and my mom separated when we were younger, but whenever he would
I'm
drop us
sorry.
off, he would sing us It's Okay. I feel like they were so much better, as people after like
Apart.
yeah, apart for sure. But she my dad used to sing to us before, like he would drop us off, and we would always get so upset, but he didn't have like the greatest voice, but he would sing to us anyway. So that must be so special for your son to have him like hear your voice. And those are the things, like I remember the song to this day that he made up for
Yeah,
us. And so that's something that I like really keep close to my heart about him and like our relationship, and something I remember.
that's dope. That's dope.
Hmm.
Um, so tell me, you know, what were your so we see like your dad influenced you in music as he sang to you, and that became one of the things that became a staple to you. What were other things that influenced you into music?
um Honestly, growing up, it was just like something when I was growing up just always compelled me to like love music. I never realized the moment where like this is it, like it's just something that I don't know, my whole life, I think, starting maybe from Disney movies, just listening to all of these great soundtracks of all of these great like movies. And I think that's something, there was some type of connection with that to me, as I was getting older, and I would sing all of these songs, and I was so animated, like just myself. Like no one else in my family, like my immediate family, is like that. They all just kind of call me this little like weirdo when I was growing up, because I just loved musical theater, I loved acting, I loved music, and it was just, I don't know, I it's in my genes for sure. Like my grandpa and my
Mhm.
grandma were in like little bands growing up, and they sang for church. So I think that a combination of all of those things, I guess maybe it's just in the blood, and something with that. It's so mind boggling to kind of think about how we're little humans and we don't really have much kind of thought, growing up, but something connects us almost spiritually, I feel, to
Yeah,
understand that that's something that we really connect with. So I want to
yeah.
say it was a combination of all of those things.
Mm.
Hmm.
Those music is always inherited. I feel like music, like if you had family members that were into music, like my dad, he played baritone horn throughout high school and even in college. And not really knowing that growing up, I got into instruments and I started playing. Like I started off with the flute, and then I kind of like self-taught myself a lot of other instruments. But like then all my brothers play instruments. So it's just something that just gets passed down like inherently. Like it's almost like instinctual. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
we all get that, that part from our blood. Like it just passes down. So it's
For
dope.
sure. Yeah, I can even remember like I think also maybe I remember having a whole bunch of family parties and
Mm,
everyone dancing, and on Sundays my dad and my mom would put on like Elvis and like freestyle, and I think the joy that it brought them, and to have them get up and want to clean and really just kind of like lift their spirits. I think I also was maybe connected to that, and seeing like, wow, music makes people happy, and I want to make
mm-hmm.
people happy. So it's something that I think I was also drawn to, because I'm just that type of person that, really believes in like music being a language that connects with so many different emotions, and makes people feel something. So I like to think that it's a little bit of that too.
Cool, cool, cool.
So I'm gonna give you a choice of what to play right now, right? Because I have both.
Hmm.
Um, wait a minute, Pretty Penny, and I also have Can't Let Go. Which one would you like to
Ooh, I think we should go with Can't Let Go.
Okay, and why don't you tell us a little bit about it before we introduce this?
So, Can't Let Go was basically, just kind of like it is in the title, a track that I felt like in while writing it was kind of helping me understand reasons why I decided to maybe stay in a relationship that was, not really the best. It was a little toxic, and it was something that I definitely learned from. But I think writing and putting those lyrics on paper really helped me kind of see like, okay, yes, you're in this and you want it to work, and you would do anything to, prove to this person that you're there for them, and that you go that extra mile be with them. And I think taking the step back after writing this song, it's like, will this person do that for me? And so I think, you know, it was just kind of something that I wanted to help people connect and know that they're not the only ones that are keeping that foot in the door, even though it probably should have already been closed. So I'd like to say that that is what, more or less, what Can't Let Go was about.
Jesus, I feel it, and we haven't even played it yet.
I can't
wait to hear it. Like,
right?
That was a great description.
Let me know what you think after.
Definitely introduce it first.
So, guys, we have Can't Let Go by Cilla about to play. Is that a proper? How would you guys introduce this? I'm like, this is like my first time having to introduce my own track, so I have to learn from the greats.
Oh, I think that was fine. I think you were good.
Okay, perfect. I wasn't sure if there
was.
I
want to be on your level.
That's a fact.
I gotta be on your level. Yeah, man. Totally.
I appreciate that.
Hold on, let me play this. We're gonna mute our mics and shut our cameras off.
Got you.
And then we'll be back.
I need that big show on in Janae, love. Not tomorrow, but today, love. So how about now? What you say, love? What you say, love? What you say, love? Even when I wanna tell you no, there's no saying so. So I'll be on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. Sending mixed signals my way, love. Want this forever, so don't play, love. So how about not another day, love? Another day, love. Another day, love. Now you got me staring at my phone, knowing that I shouldn't go, but I'll be on my way. Yeah, I'm on my way. 'Cause I would take a plane or a train in a hurricane for you. I'll always come back to you. I'll always come back for you. 'Cause I would take a plane or a train in a hurricane for you. I'll always come back to you. I'll always come back for you. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Waiting for you to call my name, love. Not tomorrow, but today, love. Why you causing me this pain? Heartbreak is true, it's all the same. But it wasn't time. It wasn't time for me. Are you really mine? Really mine to me? 'Cause I would take a plane or a train in a hurricane for you. I'll always come back to you. I'll always come back for you. 'Cause I would take a plane or a train in a hurricane for you. I'll always come back to you. I'll always come back for you. Let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause I can't let you go. I can't let you go. Don't let go, 'cause
And oh no, we're not playing that yet. And we are back.
Yes, we are. Yo, that was fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was fire. I liked it. I really did. I was sitting here jamming out like, yo, I liked it. Really, really good. Really dope. I felt the emotion in it. Like I really felt like what you were saying was real and authentic. And it was something that you went through and experienced. And I think that's what's missing in music, where I think a lot of people are just rapping and they're singing about stuff just because the information is out there, as opposed to actually going through something and being able to express that in music. So that was really dope. Really, really dope.
Thank you so much. I think that the transparency piece is so important. Like you said, the music industry right now, I feel also is like super saturated in a way that, you know, people want to just kind of go in to do things that are going to, you know, be a banger or bop, and
Right.
kind of, you know, take other people's experiences or maybe things that they've gone through, and maybe they haven't really gone through it like as recent. So to your point, it's hard to express that emotion when you don't know exactly how that feels or you aren't in that like emotion anymore. So I
Exactly.
think that it's so important as an artist that as soon as you're feeling it, like just get that pen, do your best to get into the studio, because once you're not feeling it anymore, it is so hard to like get that raw emotion across.
Absolutely. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, what'd you think?
Man, I just thought it just got me really in my emotions and did take me to a time where I was in a toxic relationship. It made me think about those emotions, and it's just like you don't have quality music like that nowadays. You know.
That guys, I'm gonna cry.
Oh please, don't cry. Your manager or whatever Silva is, she'll kill me.
Silva is the bomb. Shout out to Silva, guys. Silva A.
Silva, what up? What up?
Scylla, when you have the free time, go check out her Silva's interview. You'll die of laughter.
Yo, listen, we were in tears the whole night.
We had to end the show because we couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it was.
Silva had you guys rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah,
oh my god,
we couldn't control ourselves.
She's so dope, man. I can't wait to get her back on the show.
I can't wait to see her. Like, we got one meeting in before this quarantine happened, and we were just like, listen, this is what I want to do. You're the one that I've been trying to like do this with, and I want you to be on my team, and I want to be on your team. So I'm so glad that we were able to connect and get things like, you know, moving before the whole thing, this whole craziness happened.
Yeah, that's dope.
Cause she sent it to me, your music, what, last week? It was during this show last week, and while I was doing the music break, I was listening to your music.
Oh my god, yes.
And I'm like, fuck yes. I don't care. Send it to me right now. I got you.
I love that. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys having me on the show today. It really, really, really means a lot, and I was so excited about it.
No, we were excited. I'm in my R&B vibes lately. Sorry to my hip hop heads, but you know, it's all this quarantine
for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an interview right once, and they asked me, why do I consider myself in the R&B genre when my music is kind of like, you know, different types of sounds? And so if you had to kind of say what type of genre I would be placed in, would you guys consider it R&B still?
She took my question.
Oh my god, I'm so
sorry. From what I've heard, from what I've heard, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. From what I've heard.
I feel like R&B has always been something that I've like connected to, maybe because I'm always in my bag and always like, you know, with so much emotion. But growing up, it's what helped me through like, you know, relationships and stuff and 90s R&B. And so for me, I'm like, that is like, you know, the genre that I definitely feel like I'm super connected to. But then, you know, I want to dabble and play around with other sounds and show people that I, you know, can do other things with my voice or become other personalities. So I just wanted to ask that because I wasn't sure.
No, absolutely R&B. You actually remind me of me in a way because of your sound. So I was like, yeah, nah, definitely R&B without a doubt.
Awesome.
Without a doubt.
I'm
Can I
sorry.
ask a question though?
Of course, of course.
Why do R&B singers have the nicest smiles?
Thank you. I honestly I thank my mom, my dad for the genes. I feel like I have my half of my mom's teeth, half of my dad's. It's so weird, but every time my grandma sees me, she lives in Cali, so we went a long time without seeing each other. Like growing up, I hadn't seen her for maybe 10 years, and the first thing that she told me was that your smile is so beautiful. I'm like, oh my god, thank you. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
had to
then
work for mine. I had braces for 4 years, so I had to work for mine.
oh no, the braces, do they
Yeah, I
hurt
was a
as bad
braces
as
kid.
everyone says that they kind of do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. It's one of those situations where, when you first get them, you're like, take them out, and then you get used to them, and then they tighten the rubber bands. And you're like, take them out. You always have constant headaches. You lose a lot of love for things that are pause hard, like apples and corn on the cob and things like that. Um, like I still don't eat corn on the cob. Like I do not eat corn on the cob. Like, and I've
Oh,
had my braces off
He's very
since
anal
oh
about it too.
one. Oh one. I really. That's right. Your mom's made corn on the cob, and I like nibbled at it.
You
Right.
dead denied the shit.
Like it's just, but that's more of like a, I guess, reflex because I didn't eat it for so long. Like it took me a while to eat apples. It took me a while to get back into like hard candy and bubble gum and stuff like that. But like the payoff was so greater for what I went through. Um, but now they have like the Smile Direct and stuff like that, which I heard is just as equally painful. But I mean, it's for less time and it's less money. So I mean, if anybody who's going for the braces, definitely go for the Smile Direct. It's way better than traditional braces. I wish I
did
would
you
have had that.
smile when you had braces? Like, did you
Oh
smile
my
if you had?
god, when I got them out, I remember going to school. I was still in high school when I got them. I remember the whole day there was nothing but a smile on my face. Nothing
Oh, I love that.
from
My
ear
dad.
to ear all day.
And he hasn't taken it off ever since.
Ever
That's
since.
it. She's like, I'm gonna show what I had to all those years I had to pay for this.
That's it.
So
I gotta show off my investment.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
I love
So yeah, no, it was definitely one of those things that I'm glad that I went through and it paid off in the end.
that. Yes.
So
Because
before we get, oh,
go ahead. Go ahead, sorry.
sorry, I lost the feedback for a minute. So our co-host, who is in the secret squirrel faraway location, right?
Uh-huh.
He goes and asks, how is following the artistry and lyricism laid down by some of the greats like Erica Badu help with finding your own sound and sense of lyricism?
Oh my goodness. What a great question. I think for me, I hear it so many times over that we are a collection of sounds that we've heard our entire life. We cannot
Hmm.
I mean, we can make other sounds, but we're always referencing, something else that's kind of that we want to emulate. And I think that Erica Badu, Lauryn Hill, all of those really great, even down to like Missy and Lady Gaga. I mean, not that Gaga was like in the 90s, but, I think that as an artist, you learn, to kind of listen without really understanding that you're learning through listening. So I think that from hearing all of the greats, growing up, you want to kind of be on their level and you'll hear certain things that they do and hear certain sounds. So I think that growing up singing, I always loved Alicia Keys. So I think that I always tried to, mirror her sound almost when I was doing karaoke, and all of those like my talent shows and stuff. So I think that in that way, because we are a collection of everything that we've ever heard, since we were young, that is kind of how artists use what we've learned of the craft from other people in our own music. If that makes sense.
That
Yeah.
totally makes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope I
definitely.
answered the question. But that was an
You
amazing
definitely
question.
did.
You definitely got. I think you got everything he said.
Perfect.
Facts.
Yes.
So I know why you asked me the question you asked.
Why?
So because she had a track with my musical man crush Theta.
Hey, Seda. Seda sounds. I love Seda. Seda is such a humble artist. Working with him was amazing.
He owes me a performance.
Oh, Seda, you heard that? I said you owe her a performance. She's gonna
Oh,
need a performance.
oh, he knows. No, he's been put on notice.
That's it. How did you meet Seda?
Phenom.
What happened?
I met him from Phenom.
Oh, from Pino.
So you have a track with them called Sigue Adelante.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly
Sigue.
not English.
Yes, in Spanish.
So she also got that fire flame Latina in her, bro.
Oh,
Hey.
that's
So
dope.
so tell us about Sigue Adelante.
So Sigue Adelante is definitely super special to me. It was my first and only Latin track that I've made. Growing up, probably when I was like maybe 8 years old, until maybe I was like 15. I would go every year to Puerto Rico. My mom would send me, me and my brother. The day school finished, probably like 2 days later, maybe. She had our suitcases packed. I was about to say maleta. She had our suitcases packed, and we were ready to go on our trip for the whole summer, honestly.
Oh
Can you
wow.
guys still hear me?
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit
Okay,
cracking.
got you. Yeah. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So every year she would send us to Puerto Rico, and she did it because the area that we grew up in wasn't the best. She didn't want us hanging around with the wrong people. She worked a lot, so in order she wanted to give us a different experience, and also to have some quality time with my grandpa, and my grandma out in Puerto Rico. So we would go every year, and Puerto Rico became a place where we had family, had friends, and we would be there for about like 2.5 months. We would come back maybe a week before school started, and it's a place that I hold super dear to my heart. It's my nationality. And so when Hurricane Maria happened, none of us were prepared to kind of deal with the type of devastation that was, kind of similar to what we're dealing with right now. And my grandmother had diabetes and she was very sick. And so they were unable to get her the proper medicines. They weren't even able to get water sometimes. So that caused her to get even more sick. And unfortunately, we lost her first. So she passed in January, like 4 months after Hurricane Maria. And then right after that, my grandpa had passed away right after. And we think it was a broken heart. Honestly, they were
Mm.
together for
Yeah.
like, I want to say maybe 60 years and loved each
Wow.
other so much. And my grandpa I felt couldn't, go on without her because he was perfectly healthy. And after she passed, it just kind of was like his body just
It
shut
let
down.
go.
So yeah, so for me, I wanted to make something that was an ode to them and all of our experiences throughout the year, going to see him, something that we could remember them by and remember the beautiful, like, island that we grew up knowing in that way. And also something that was going to uplift the people of Puerto Rico and to bring the people in the United States kind of raise awareness about what was happening there. So it was a combination of, a lot of different emotions and a lot of different messages that I wanted to get across. And so that was what birthed the Sigue Adelante track.
Nice.
And Silva said fires all over.
Silva, you're in the building. What's up, gal? Thank you so much.
Silver.
We were just
What
talking
up?
about you.
I think she heard her ears were
She
ringing.
knows.
That's it. She
Yeah,
knows.
she knows. She knows.
She knows.
Silva, we love you.
Just FYI, Silva's doing another panel series tomorrow. So follow Silva everywhere at Silva Lining Productions. And if you don't, you're the biggest dub on the face of the earth, and you can go fuck
It's a
yourself.
fact. It's a fact.
The biggest dub. I love that.
Man, where's CP when you need the drops?
Brr, 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 brr.
Fact.
So unfortunately, we're reaching the end of our time, and I'm sad.
Same. This was amazing.
It
Hopefully,
was.
when we get back to the station, you can physically come in and talk with us.
For sure.
Facts.
I would love that.
So for now, though, I need you to drop your social media and introduce the song for us.
I got you. So before I do that, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing the station correctly. Rawrrzone.
So no, our show is Welcome to the Rawrrzone, and we're on and we're on DTF Radio and on Platinum Radio.
Okay, so welcome to the Rawrrzone. Got you. All right, guys. So my name is Cilla. You can find me at The Lovely Trend, THEE, lovely spelled the same, Trend. You can find me on all social platforms through that handle. You can also find, if you can't remember, at thelovelytrend.com, and that'll give you everything and all things Cilla. And I want to say thank you to Welcome to the Rawrrzone. You guys are tuning in to Welcome to the Rawrrzone. My name is Cilla, and this is Sigue Adelante.
And I took that picture, but we're also going to go into our music break. So, Cilla, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for letting us have you on our show.
Thank you,
and we will definitely be seeing you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Very soon.
Talk to you
soon. Very
soon. Stay safe, okay?
Bye.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, music break.
Music break.
Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, la isla de mis sueños, una hermosa creación, un reflejo de Dios. Puerto Rico, la raíz de mi sangre, la tierra de mi antepasado. Puerto Rico, levántate, sigue adelante. Gracias a Dios. Puerto Rico. La vibra. Puerto Rico, abre mis ojos, dime el plan. Dime que soy lo suficientemente fuerte como para cantarle a mi gente. Dame las palabras para ayudar a mover las masas. Parte el agua, deja que la ayuda llegue. Cuando llegue me hablas. Nos iremos hasta que estemos todos juntos como uno a resolver este asunto. Si podemos, es mi punto. Tenemos la fuerza para un nuevo futuro. Puerto Rico, levántate, sigue adelante. Puerto Rico, levántate, es nuestro chance. Puerto Rico, levántate, siempre te amaré. El canto nunca muere, sigue adelante. Barceloneta, levántate, la Juan, levántate, la Guadilla, levántate, la Guamonte, sigue adelante. Levántate, la Guamonte, levántate, Santurce, levántate, la Entera, sigue adelante.
Puerto Rico, mi tierra por igual, mi pueblo profundo, estoy cantándole a mi gente, rezando que pido a Dios, llorando por tu corazón, Israel. Puerto Rico, levántate, es nuestro chance. Levántate,